Welcome to episode 39 of the Kansas Jayhawks Dynasty here as we round out season 3 in a rivalry matchup for the world to see. Here we are up against the Kansas State Wildcats. We did not face them up against them in that first season, but last year we were able to dismantle their defense and we very easily beat this team. A team that was statistically and record-wise better than us on all categories on the field. And as you can see this year, they are better than us on most of the categories besides passing-wise. As the Wildcats come into this matchup already 7-4 against a 6-5 Jayhawks team, they have a chance to end our season on a low note and force us to another 6-7 win season. But if we can hit this game and go 7-5 on the year, we have an opportunity in our bowl game to finalize the best year head coach Smemes has had as the helm of the head coach of the Jayhawks and get an 8-win season. But that all begins here with Conrad Hawley and this offense and defense beating this Kansas State Wildcats team. Here we are, 3-yard rush on the play as Devin Neal. You see his statistics there. 1,161 yards. Some of these guys are playing their final snaps as a Jayhawk as Tristan Golaley puts it on the ground. He had a slant route, gets hit hard and rolls around and just leaves it right on the ground. And as you can see, they will review this one, praying that it gets overturned. And it kind of looked like an unnatural fumble, but I don't know for sure. And there it is. Looks like his knee and his elbow hit by the time that ball comes flying out. And, yeah, that's definitely not a fumble right there. It's Tristan Golaley. He had possession of it, came to the ground, and he basically just got that one lodged out by the floor. So that would bring up a 2nd and 10 as we have another chance here on this drive. Hawley this time goes to McBride instead. And it's got a nice positive 6-yard gain there. Last time he went to Golaley resulted in an almost fumble. This time he goes to McBride and it's good for us. 3rd and 4 here. Hawley's going to roll out, got some nice blocking, and you know he's going to get his yardage. These last few games, Conrad Hawley has really come really far as a runner and a quarterback in the mobile position. Because look at this. We would not have seen something like this from Conrad Hawley, who fumbles it. And as I begin to congratulate him, he loses the ball, and there he is on the ground. Maurice Butler will have to come in for about a quarter today, and Stephen McBride on the first pass from Butler is going to go for 5 yards. 1st and goal now. Maurice Butler, if you just missed that, is replacing Hawley for about a quarter, and he's got a touchdown. 2 yards on the read option. And there he is, finally making his impact. He came in as a highly touted freshman, and he has not been able to make his impact at all. He got benched in about week 3 for Hawley, and this time Rubley on the next possession is going to hit Brown. And Reggie Brown for 11 yards starts this K-State offensive drive on a high note. Now a 2nd and 3. Looks like they're going to give it to Vaughn. He's got great blocking, and he's going to swerve his way up to the left side. Onto the left hash mark, and Deuce Vaughn, 37 yards later, is going to get them into the red zone. 3rd and 8, though, for Rubley and company. Rubley's going to bring his tight end in motion, but he's under center. Doesn't have Vaughn behind him this time. Wants to go for a screenplay, and nobody's open. Jake Rubley gets rocked on that one, and the Wildcats settle for a field goal despite the hot start on this drive. They're going to be down 7-3 going into this end of this first quarter as we get down to the final minute 19. 2nd and 1. Butler going to give it to Neal, and it's going to try and spin out of the tackle, but nobody's going to be able to get him there. And he's going to lose about 1 on the play. So now we get down under a minute, 55 seconds and counting. Butler rolling out, wants to fire, and a 3 and out for this Jayhawks possession as they go right down to the wire there on a 3rd and 3, and he just has to sling that one into the dirt. Now 1st and 10, Rubley goes downfield, and he's got his man. R.J. Garcia the 2nd on a nice crossing route for about 23 yards. So a 3rd and 3 now on the final play of the quarter. Rubley wants to throw, taken down, pressure got to him, and just like that, the Jayhawks keep them away from scoring in this first quarter again. 7:09 now in the second quarter. Butler rolling out, firing downfield, and he's intercepted. The safety Smith was in the area, And just like that, the Jayhawks defense has to run right back onto the field as TJ Smith made the play on the ball. And Maurice Butler shows why he got benched earlier this year. He just doesn't have the wisdom or the readiness of a quarterback we need as Rubley fumbles it and it's recovered. Cornell Wheeler recovers that one. And now the Jayhawks get the ball right back. 2nd and 2. Give it to Neal up the middle. And get out of the way. He's got 11 yards on the play. So now Hawley is back in the game. 3rd and 8 on the drive. Hawley looking to throw it. He's got his man outside. Who else would that be? Stephen McBride. So happy we got him to come back this year and last year, as he was going to transfer after that first year. And he was going to go over to California with Jalen Daniels. But on a 2nd and 8, Trevor Cardell is going to get it up on a slant or a pitch into the dirt. And he's going to get 6 yards out of something that could have very easily been nothing there as Devin Neal takes it up the middle on a 3rd and 2. And he's going to get that first down. So now we're about the midway mark of this 2nd quarter. 1st and 10. Hawley rolling out, firing to Golightly. Touchdown. 21 yards for Tristan Golightly as I try to say his name and touchdown at the same time. And the Jayhawks lead is now 14-3, 4:27 and counting. Rubley goes across the middle to Parks, and Dane Parks is going to get 12 yards on the reception. They are trying to claw their way back into this one. Deuce Vaughn here on 1st and 10, got great blocking up the left side. Once again, a solid run there, 18 on the play. They continue to produce quality plays on the ground. 3rd and 11, he's going to get it to Vaughn again. He's going to get 9 yards out of the 11 they needed, and it's going to be a 2-yard 4th down as they settle for another field goal. This one's about 33 yards out. And that one's going to go right through the uprights as well. So the Jayhawks still have the advantage here. 2:42 remaining. Hawley, play action, rolling out of the shotgun, wants to throw. Nobody's open, so he takes it himself. After 12 yards, another hard hit for Conrad Hawley. Last thing we need from him is to be injured before the bowl game, but this is arguably one of the more important games of head coach Smemes' career, as this is an intense rivalry matchup that has very heavy bowl implications. So here we go, Devin Neal on 1st and 10, 2 quality back-to-back runs, 2 10-yard plus runs. Now a 2nd and inches, give it to Neal up the middle, falling into the end zone. You just felt that one was coming with 6 yards on the play. The Jayhawks now up 21-6 as we enter the 2nd half. 8 minutes on the dot. It's going to be a wide receiver screen to Garber. And Garber is going to get it 8 yards. Keenan Garber, his first catch of the day. Despite being a solid receiver, they just haven't been able to get him into the offense. But Deuce Vaughn is a completely other story as he gets another 8-yard run. He has consistently been able to get 5+ yards on every carry or every time he touches the ball as they get it to Parks. Lewis was in coverage, not just barely, a second late. And now a 2nd and 10 after the nice catch on the run. Rubley here, going to launch it downfield to Garcia the second. And a one-handed grab as he reached back behind him to get that one, setting up a 1st and goal inside the 10. Rubley's going to give it to Vaughn. They didn't stand a chance. 6 yards on the left side stretch. Deuce Vaughn, number 22, with a nice touchdown run. 21-13 is your score here with the 3rd quarter meeting the midway mark. 3rd and 5. Conrad Hawley fires to McBride. And we really need to hold on to this one. I'm scared every time I say that because it usually means a turnover's coming. Gavin Hazelhorst with the tackle on the last play. 4th and inches. Neal is going to get to the outside, and he's got a lot more space after some great blocking. He's going to get 19 yards when they only needed a few inches, so that's a 2nd and goal. Hawley, out of the center position, wants to throw, rolling around, looking downfield. Nobody's open, so he takes it himself, fumbles, and it's recovered by Stephen McBride. A 9-yard touchdown run credited to Stephen McBride. Just in the right place at the right time as Rubley's pass is almost intercepted. Krishan Brown likely would have taken that to the house, but instead they settle for a 3rd and 11 here. Rubley looking for another screen, this time to Vaughn. He is not going to have anywhere to go. Loses one, as a matter of fact, and the Jayhawks get the ball right back despite scoring just a few minutes earlier. Hawley now out of the center position, fires, and he's finally intercepted. You knew it was coming, and Gavin Hazelhorst makes the play. The Wildcats stay alive in this third quarter with a minute and a half remaining. Rubley wants to go downfield, and he's got Parks downfield. Dane Parks continues to show his talent here in this one. A minute 07 remains. 2nd and 7 on the play. Now it's going to be a pass to Brown. Reggie Brown, 12 yards as he cuts upfield with that speed he's got. And it sets up a 3rd and 5. 8 seconds and counting. Rubley outside, and it's caught. RJ Garcia, 11 yards. Deuce Mayberry might have had a shot at that if he had went up for it, but he was not able to go to the top steps and grab it out of the air as Hawley settles on 2nd and 14 for a play action, rolling around, firing, and it's just going to fall to the dirt. After a nice prolonging of that play and getting out of the pocket, Hawley now on a 3rd and 14. Pressure again, nobody's open, so he just has to sling that one into the dirt. So now late in this, or earlier in this fourth quarter, the Jayhawks offensive line starts to break down, and Deuce Vaughn shows no signs of slowing down as he gets an 11-yard run on 2nd and 6. And this Kansas State offensive line has had its way with the Jayhawks D-line. They have been able to get anything open that they want, and they have had no problem protecting Jake Rubley. As you can see, he hits right for a 28-yard catch and run as he has all kinds of time in the pocket. Now 2nd and 12, Rubley's going to give it to Irvin. One of the first few times we've seen him actually touch the ball, and it's a 4-yard run. Let's see if they stick with Irvin on 3rd and 8 or if they go to the air. They do throw it this time, and Rubley rolling around, and he's intercepted. John Quay Lewis looks like he might be able to seal the deal on this one. 3:46 remaining. We desperately need some type of score here just to show off that we are winning this game for sure, as Devin Neal tries to cut back inside. Likely would have had a little bit more if he stayed outside, but still a solid run. And now on a 2nd and 6, we see the future, and Amari Pesic hits him for 9 yards on a nice solid run to the left side. So a 3rd and 7, likely going to throw it here despite the lead, and they do. But Luke Grimm is going to drop it. He's usually the sure-handed receiver. So on a 4th and 7, do or die. Jayhawks need a score or conversion here. 4th and 7, Hawley wanting to run, and he's got the first down. All the guts and the glory for Conrad Hawley as he settles right there. Knows he's going to get hit, but he knows what he has to get. So on a 1st and 10 after that, he throws an interception right to Hazelhorst. Oh my goodness, I can never ever compliment Conrad Hawley. He always makes a mistake after I compliment him, and Rubley is going to lose 4 yards on 1st and 10. Nothing on 2nd down. And a 3rd and 14. They have 2 downs to get this. Rubley out of the shotgun, throws to Brown. He's got nowhere to go. He actually might just barely gain 2 yards on the play. 4th and 12. He's under center. He's got Vaughn behind him. Doesn't run it, unsurprisingly, and Garber not even close. They went for the low crossing route, and Keenan Garber had no chance, if we're being honest. He had no opportunity at all to hit that line marker, and the Jayhawks finish with their best regular season record so far through 3 years. 7-5 on the year with an excellent outing here in the most important rivalry game so far of head coach Coach Smemes' career. It was not a pretty game at all, and we had our moments where it looked like this one might get away from us, but at the end of the day, the Jayhawks come through in the clutch, and they finished the year 7-5 with a 28-20 victory over the in-state rival Kansas State Wildcats. Honestly, probably the best way we could end this season on a very high note. Steven Parker apparently completed 1 pass. I don't even remember doing a trick play with him, but I guess maybe he did. Conrad Hawley, 12 for 22, 126 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Not a good game at all, but we ended up coming out on top, so can't complain too much. Maurice Butler, 5 for 7, 36 yards, and the 1 interception. But he did have the 1 rushing touchdown that I'll give him credit for. And Conrad Hawley, 7 for 49 on the ground again. Devin Neal, though, takes home the MVP. 28 for 159 and a touchdown. Almost 6 yards per carry this game. Just an outstanding performance for him in one of the final games, or the final game of the year. Stephen McBride led the way with 5 catches for 39 yards, and Tristan Goatley had the sole receiving touchdown for the day. Blocking-wise, we didn't have too many sacks allowed. Defense played good. We had a few sacks all around. We had a few interceptions. Just a great performance by the team. And there was moments this year that I really think we could have been around a 9-10 win team. But it just so happens that sometimes, I guess, things didn't fall our way, whether it be due to lack of experience, lack of talent. As you can see, we are in the sack side of the conference, but being third beneath Texas and Oklahoma is nothing to frown upon. They're both ranked 10th for Oklahoma and 3rd for Texas. Great spot to be here at number 3, beating out Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Texas Tech. Just a great spot for us to be in, especially with how poorly the other side of the conference is performing. More than happy about how this year ended up. And before I show you what team we're taking on in the bowl game, which will be next Monday, I want to go ahead and let you guys know that the next Thursday after that will be the live stream for the offseason. And here, this is going to be a big moment for us. I think we will have a chance next year to maybe go to at least the conference championship and have our best year yet. We have an amazing class coming in. We have some very talented receivers coming in. So I'm super excited for that live stream to see what happens. As you all know, we'll go over everything that happened in the league, like who won the Heisman, who led in statistics, all of that stuff in the live stream. So stay tuned for that. I'll post more about it on my Instagram, which is always in the link down below. And we actually have a big opportunity here in this bowl game as we are facing off against the 17th ranked Washington Huskies in the Alamo Bowl. Obviously, looks like a little bit of a disadvantage for us, but I like that. We are not nearly as good as them. They have beaten us in every statistical category, basically, besides passing, offense, yardage, and turnover differential. But we really need this win. Head Coach Smemes, I think, is now 2 of 8 against ranked opponents, and we just need to get this one for our pride and for just our overall record. And as you can see, we're negative 20 in the turnover differential. We could have played so much better this year. And like I said, there was moments I thought we could have been a 10-win team, but we just weren't ready for it. And I'm excited to see what we can do this year. But before we get into that, or next year, but before we go that far ahead, we've got to look to this matchup against Washington next week in the Alamo Bowl. Let me know your score predictions for that game. As you know, they are a much better team, and they're a higher rank than us, obviously. So what are you guys expecting? Do you guys think we'll win this one? Will we run away with it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoy this series, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, as it helps me out when I post these every time to see you guys support them. And as always, I'll see you next time in the Alamo Bowl against the 17th ranked Washington Huskies.